New $1,400 checks being sent out tomorrow. If you're on Social Security, take a look at this. $1,400 being sent within hours. I'll give you the details on that. Also, we have the latest COLA forecast for 2025. I'll let you know what that's going to look like, and we're hearing more from Congress.
And I'll say this, and I hope we all agree, that no one who works their entire life should retire into poverty. Social Security is an earned benefit that Americans have already paid for with each and every of their paycheck.
I'll play the full video clip of what Representative Frankel has to say about Social Security increases, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the content, if you appreciate these Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Social Security updates. So, Social Security's 2025 COLA forecast just improved. Here's the latest update. So, when it comes to the COLA, hasn't been good this past year, but as we're seeing here, a slight improvement from previous numbers. Earlier this year, the nonpartisan Senior Citizens League projected a 1.75% COLA for 2025. The group then increased that number to 2.6%. So we're looking at a 2.66% COLA increase for 2025 so far. That's up from the 1.75% previous estimate, but not as good as the 3.2% for 2024. So COLA not looking as good, nowhere near as good as the 8.7% increase. If they change it to the CPIE, we could probably see some higher COLA increases. Next, Social Security payment update this week. Second SSI check of $1,400 to be sent within hours. So a check coming tomorrow. I'll let you know who's going to get that check. And then, but before we get to that, let's take a listen to Representative Frankel here in Congress.
So, Larson, thank you so much for your leadership on this issue. To Mr. Neguse for getting us here, and to my colleagues. I think, Mr. Larson, I've joined you on this discussion for about 10 years or more now. I want to tell you about one of my constituents. Her name is Janet Swayback. She's in her 80s. She lives in Delray Beach, Florida. Retired. When she was a very young girl, she lost her dad at a very early age, and so she watched her mom struggle with their own family bills. And so Janet, to help the family, began working at the age of 17. And so now I got to get my math right. She's been working 50 years, so I guess that makes her, I don't know. Someone add that up for me. But here's the point. Let me tell you some of the things that she's done over these years. She was a nurse working in a hospital, working countless hours taking care of patients. She moved to Florida, and she became a director of a skilled nursing facility. And then she worked at Alzheimer's patients at the Alzheimer's Community Care, probably one of the most difficult assignments a healthcare provider could have. And she managed one of our crisis center hotlines. She retired about 8 years ago, and now is one of almost 200,000 seniors in my district, or I like to say seasoned adults. We're seasoned adults in my home district of Palm Beach County, and like the 66 million other Americans rely on Social Security to meet their needs. And Mr. Larson, I like the point you made that not only does Social Security meet the needs of so many of these seniors, but our seniors are great economic generators. I know where I live, if not for the seniors' economic activity, we'd be in pretty bad shape. Janet told me that she fears that without Social Security, she would have to turn to her children somewhat like her mother turned to her when she was young. So here it is. She's worked her whole life paying in Social Security to get benefits. She and millions of other Americans, nurses, school teachers, janitors, construction workers, they worked under the sacred promise that when they turned 65, they would be able to retire with comfort and dignity. And now, House Republicans want to break that promise. Their recently proposed budget slashes Social Security benefits, raises the retirement age, raises Medicare costs, all while promising another giant tax break for their wealthy friends and large corporations. And I know, and I'll say this, and I hope we all agree, that no one who works their entire life should retire into poverty. Social Security is an earned benefit that Americans have already paid for with each and every of their paycheck. And President Biden and House Democrats and senators are committed to defending it from Republican cuts and securing it with meaningful legislation that requires our wealthiest citizens to pay their fair share. So I am proud to stand here with my colleagues, standing up for Social Security, keeping it secure, and honoring our most seasoned citizens. And with that, I yield back.
I thank the gentlelady from Florida again, and reiterate that all we're asking for is a vote. So for those citizens tuned into C-SPAN and listening tonight, if you're saying, well, what do you mean? Why is it that you can't get a vote on this in the United States Congress? Good question. Call your representative and ask them, why aren't they voting to improve a program that hasn't been enhanced in more than 50 years? We hear from the other side all the time about what we need to do in terms of cuts. Imagine this is what they'd like to cut. If they've got a better idea, they should bring it to the floor. The way a democracy works is it's a debate about ideas, and then there's actually a vote.
What are your thoughts on what Representative Frankel had to say? Do you agree, disagree? All right, so Social Security early payment to go out this week. So we got checks coming up as high as $1,400 coming out tomorrow, May 31st. So what's going on here? Well, it turns out that the June 1st falls on a Saturday this year. So the SSI payment that would have gone out on June 1st is actually going to come on May 31st instead. So this is the SSI payment. So coming out today or tomorrow, the SSI payment of, depending on whatever you got last month for SSI, could be $1,400 for couples, $943 for individuals. So it all depends what you got last month, and that'll determine what you get tomorrow if you're expecting that SSI check. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Everyone, sorry. This is the tip of the day. I'm going to tell you one thing what you can feel. If you really want something, then be a survivor with some juice. Just kidding. Be a survivor and do whatever you want, because that when someone's here for you, you can always use some help. Anyways. Bye-bye.
If you want to learn the latest good news for seniors with higher increased Social Security checks with this one bill, you're going to want to click this video right over here. I'll give you the details on this bill, how there could be more money for seniors with some other updates and news as well. So click that video now, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.